Hello, my beautiful humans of the internet. My name is Nadine Lee. I am the founder of Tantric Alchemy and a facilitator of the feminine tantric arts and the author of best-selling book Sex Priestess. And today on my channel, we are going to be talking about 5 ways to initiate your man into sacred sex. So, this is something that so many women on the path, especially if they've done their own work, their own healing work, their own work around, embodying more of their sexuality, their femininity. Maybe they're in a relationship and their man isn't doing their side of the street and doing their own inner work, and they want their man to come on that journey with them. And so there is an art to doing this, to initiating a man into these realms, into sacred sexuality. And I really believe that it is the responsibility mainly of the woman, because we are the embodiment of Eros and love. So we initiate our man into Eros and love. And the masculine brings obviously their side of, their unique qualities that make them man. If they're not bringing that, then you've got something to look at. But I'm talking to you if you are with a healthy masculine man and he is, in his traditional masculine role, but he's not really activated in his lover archetype and his magician archetype. He might have the warrior and king down pat, but the lover and magician, those realms he hasn't really tapped into yet. So this is for you, this video. And so I'm going to offer 5 ways to do this, but specifically I wanted to speak about the tantric practice of tantric massage as a way to really initiate him with the body, and integrating it in your lovemaking session. So this is for women in relationships specifically. Bringing this in the way of like an embodied practice and bringing in the actual act of like, a ritual around your sexuality really is different than sending him a book or, sending him your favorite Instagram coaches, polarity masculine coaches reels or posts that day. These sort of things actually really irritate masculine men. If you're like constantly sending him other men, telling him how to be a man and how to fuck you better, it doesn't really appeal to masculine men. Actually, all men, really. Of course, men want to learn, but there's a way to do it that isn't like directly emasculating like that. And the tantric massage is such a powerful first way to, open up that portal. So Tantra massage, what is it? In Tantra, we really honor one another in the personal and the transpersonal. And Tantra massage, specifically lingam massage and yoni massage, so lingam being the male sexual organs and translates to wand of light, and the yoni is the female sexual organs. This translates to, the sacred portal. So when we bring in this practice of lingam massage, you're really bringing in this sense of devotion and worship almost to the divine masculine principle that moves through your man. So not so much like just his ego, you're not worshiping his ego, you're worshiping the divine masculine like energy that moves through all of creation, the consciousness that actually is embodied through your man. And in India, you see these Shiva lingam statues everywhere. It's a lingam in a base, which is yoni. And this is like, a penis and a vagina, literally like the symbol of that everywhere all over India. And it's literally the physical representation and, kind of putting on a pedestal this worship of divine masculine, divine feminine in union. So not just man and woman, I'm talking about divine masculine, divine feminine. So when you shift that attitude into your lovemaking and specifically into lingam massage, which is a practice that is really about honoring the divine masculine in him, it really shifts the whole game. It's not just about getting off or like, yeah, there's no goal. And I want to talk about 5 kind of practices and 5 tips that can get you started in lingam massage for beginners. So the first one is embodying the devotional dom. So this is the archetype that, so when you're in your dominant energy, so the difference between dominant and submission, when you're in dominant energy, your focus is outward. Your focus is placed upon the other, on the subconscious, on the sub. When you're in submissive energy, your energy is focused on the self-conscious. So you've got to shift into this dominant energy in a way, like dominatrix energy. Not in the sense where you're hurting him or, the traditional sense of like, going into a dungeon and inflicting pain and taking him into these realms, but dominant energy. So devotional dom, what is that? It's like that aspect of, you are in the energy of the space holder, you are facilitating his experience. Your attention is placed on him, which can be very difficult for some women, because often we are more naturally more self-focused and more submissive as feminine. This is just the nature of feminine energy. It's more receptive. So there is an element of shifting out of that and turning your focus out and attention out and focusing on him for this experience. So you're facilitating this journey for him. So that's the first step, is really getting in that mindset. And I'm going to be talking more about this in my upcoming 3-day online retreat called Initiating Him, which is happening next week, the 11th till the 13th of December. 3 daily sessions at 4 p.m. PST. So if you want to sign up for that and go deeper, you can see the link below. So the second tip is creating sacred space. So this is really transforming your bedroom, your boudoir, or maybe you have a practice space, or even just out in the lounge room, wherever you want to do this lingam massage, this practice, this ritual of devotion. You're creating this into like a tantric love chamber. So this is really like, getting creative, bringing in candles, bringing in like making a sexy playlist, incense, like frankincense, beautiful like plush furs, like, the sheepskins, velvet, like all different textures. So you're really creating this ambience, transforming the space into a temple, literally. So just like, you would going to a temple, any temple or a place of worship, it's beautifully decorated, there's like statues everywhere, there's candles, it's like a mood, it's a vibe. So you want to create your bedroom into a tantric love chamber, into a sacred space. So that's up to you how you want to do that. But, feel into the senses, the 5 senses: smell, touch, sound, feeling, and sight. So really like evoking those 5 senses. The next step to, creating a powerful tantric massage ritual and initiating your man into sacred sex is remembering the breath. So often men are more in their head. This is just where they live. They're more logic, they're more in the mind, and we love that. So as a woman, our natural space, which we inhabit, is our body, is our womb. This is our realm, is the body, is the soma. So we're often more tapped into the body. Not always, but we are usually more in our bodies than men. So we want to really invite him into the breath. Remember to breathe. And this is throughout the whole practice, but starting your practice in this way. So sitting facing one another in your sacred love chamber and starting to breathe together, just syncing up the breath. I've done this practice with clients, and they've gone into psychedelic states just from breathing with me, like multi-orgasmic psychedelic states, both men and women. So if a man's so in his head and he hasn't brought that breath down into his, into his dantian, which is that sacral space, and his balls, it can be like wow, so profound for him. So starting with the breath, and you just literally initiate and guide that together. The next is starting super slow. So, so often, you can get into habits when you're in lovemaking where it's like you just do the same things and you just kind of like, you know what to do to get each other off, and then you just move to the next thing. This practice is really about slowing everything down. And, women, we take longer to open up. We need more of that slow, like opening the body, opening the heart. But men also do need, a bit of opening, not as much as us, but with this practice, it's really you want to open up his energy channels. And how you can do this is really start at the feet and work your way up his legs, up his inner thighs, the buttocks, the dantian, get him to breathe. And then like once, he feels open, his body has opened, then you would go into, the next, into the lingam massage. And the final tip is do not focus on climax. So this specific practice, the lingam massage, the essence of it is not, happy ending. It's actually about first honoring and worshiping this divine masculine principle that moves through him. And then it's really about supporting your man into riding the orgasmic waves. So, what I mean by that is building up his sexual energy and not reaching the climax, like building the energy and then letting it fall, building the energy and then letting it fall. And so, with this, you're really training yourself and him to you're training your nervous systems to not have this like goal orientation when it comes to lovemaking. It's like when we feel like there's this pressure to reach a certain point in lovemaking, it really just kills the moment because we're not focused on the present moment. We're focused on that end goal. And that's the difference I feel between like epic lovemaking and just junk food lovemaking. So by focusing on sensation, by focusing on, wow, how much energy can he expand through his body and then let it fall. These are so key for this practice and for him to start that journey. Like you're literally initiating him into sacred sexuality, into Tantra through this practice without words, without sending him a book. And it's fucking pleasurable for him as well. You're doing this in a way that's embodied and you're tapping into that, your sex priestess energy, your sex priestess archetype. So these are some ways to start the journey of initiating your man into sacred sex with tantric massage. And if you want to go deeper into this, I'm going to be teaching more techniques and the actual practice of lingam massage inside of initiating him, which is my next 3-day online retreat happening next week, 11th till 13th of December. And I would love to have you there. I'm going to link for that below, and make sure to share this video with anyone who, any sisters that vibe with this, anyone that you feel might benefit from this video. And make sure to subscribe and, leave a comment if this has helped you. I'd love to hear what you've taken away from this and how it goes for you. And be sure to join me next week for initiating him. Sending you so much love.